Hey, welcome to another PoDumb, another week, another day, another sun that rises, and another wine or cheese adventure to be had. Welcome to the PoDumb. My name's Gabe. We're alongside Scott and Luke here in this episode for a lot of questions to be risen, a lot of solutions to be given, and a little bit of wine or cheese at the end of this episode. So stay tuned, keep your ears tentative, and hope your desk job is going well. But nonetheless, enough chitter chatter, and let's get to the batter.
Well, hi everybody. Thank you for joining us in this audio experience. This oral. I don't want to make it sound like oral because that's weird. An oral experience. Aural, like audio.
Isn't that the character from The Matrix that knows everything?
Morpheus?
No, he's talking about the Oracle.
Oh. I never watched The Matrix, okay?
Really?
No, it looks stupid.
It's very much a movie that exists. I will confirm that.
Oh.
Yeah, I hope that cleared it up.
Well, on a recommendation like that, how could I refuse?
Yeah, it's I'd say it's par in my book to the VeggieTales, the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything movie.
Oh, that's a high bar.
It really is.
That's some pretty high praise there, dude.
Like, I think the third Matrix would fall in line with that. The first two, maybe not so much.
All right, we're gonna talk VeggieTales or what? So that movie,
right? So I think did all three of us watch it at the theaters?
I did.
I don't think it holds up. To be honest, Phil Vischer is not in the captain's chair for the creative role, and I think it shows. Like the stupid pirate musical section, like the musical theater bit, is too tongue-in-cheek. It's not VeggieTales enough. It's like, oh, we're singing, isn't that weird? And we're vegetables.
Do we have TiVo?
Yeah.
The comedy bits, I think, make up for it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, it's a VeggieTales movie. Of course, it's going to have, good comedy bits. Like,
that is not true. Have you seen some of the newer ones?
Oh, the newer ones, I don't care. I haven't watched the new SpongeBob. I haven't watched new VeggieTales. I haven't watched, like, the new Bob the Builder.
New VeggieTales is not VeggieTales.
It really isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I just so I don't sell myself out here, I don't just put in VeggieTales anymore. But
no, why not?
My cousin watches them sometimes when he's over here.
How old is your cousin?
I didn't want to get into that. So he's I don't know how to describe it. He's mentally handicapped, so he's like 19, 20.
That's still a great age. No matter the circumstance, that's a great age to still watch VeggieTales. I'm 22 and I watch VeggieTales almost like once a month. Somewhere around that.
You don't.
I do though. I have a Spotify playlist dedicated to the boys in the fridge. And
in the sink.
Boys in the
sink. I listen to that sometimes, not as frequently.
Clearly a VeggieTales fan.
Yeah, it's a vegetable related location for the boys to be in. The fridge, the sink, it's in the same room in your house. Anyway, I think the best VeggieTales movie is still the Christmas one with the Buzzsaw Louie.
That one's good.
Because I
do like that one.
The way that it's premised, the way that it's told, and the values behind the story are really good. I really like that movie.
That one is good. Yeah, one of my favorite lines from that movie is their satirical poke at the commercialism of Christmas.
Yeah.
In this one interaction between the father P and the child P. I don't remember their P's. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I need a Buzzsaw Louie because Billy has one.
Yeah.
And the dad goes, who's Billy? I don't know, but he has more toys than me. Which is, like, that's absolutely a marketing technique. Like, oh, you're missing out. Somebody else has more than you.
I want 2 Buzzsaw Louies. Yeah, like, it's just... Even at, like, the first time that I watched that, I'm like, wow, this is very accurate. Like, I don't know, because like even whenever I was younger, like I saw the materialism of Christmas, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Because like it always felt weird, at least for me, receiving gifts, even like all the way down whenever I was a kid.
What do you mean by weird?
Like it didn't feel right because I didn't do anything to deserve the gift. Like, oh yeah, you're good for whatever the year, and you get something good. That doesn't really, like you're a child of this parent, and therefore you get gift. I don't feel like that's deserving of the things that I got at the time. Because Legos are expensive, all right.
They are. They're overpriced.
Nowadays, oh yeah.
Like, it's just I don't even. That's just the like my mindset as a kid, not even a little bit still now. Of you don't work, you don't eat, kind of thing.
I could see that. I think the counter argument would be, well, the representation of the first gift, Jesus to the world, is that we were ultimately undeserving, and so the gift, the exchange between parents and children. I mean, the kids don't deserve it, but like that would be the argument. But
it's the representation of the love behind the gift. Yeah,
but I'm actually with you. Gifts, like when somebody gives me a gift, it's super flattering and everything. Yeah. I would never turn down a gift. It's just it makes me uncomfortable to a degree because it's like kind of like what you were saying. Maybe it's that I don't feel like I deserve it. Just like I don't like having that attention brought towards me. Maybe.
Yeah. See, I think it adds too much stress. Because like if it's a gift exchange, like you have to like somehow read your opponent's mind in this game and like figure out what their price range was, and if they like effectively spent money. Like you could spend like $10 and get a meaningful gift, or you could spend $100 and get something really nice and it still mean nothing sentimentally. So like you gotta like. If you don't like, if you're the under gift giver, then it feels like, oh, I don't care for this person as much as they care for me, and then that weighs on your conscience. Or you go over and then you make them feel that way, and then you feel self-conscious about that.
Yeah.
This might just be me overthinking the whole thing.
No. Luke, what about you?
Well, I've definitely never seen it like the way you guys are talking about. To me, like when I do like gift giving, like you've seen some of the stuff that I've given.
Yeah.
You like I'm very like I tend to go all out.
Yeah, which is awesome in my opinion.
When I do stuff because part of that is because it's just how I do like that's just how my mind is. Yeah. But it's also because of like I'm a very novelty gift giver. Like very rarely will anything I gift somebody have a practical use.
Yeah, but it's still a gift nonetheless.
And that type of thing is often, it's a lot. It tends to be a lot more elaborate. But to me, I don't really think about the receiving end of it. Like I see gifts as just a person is showing you that like they care and yeah. Because it's kind of like what you said. Like I'd never really have thought about like how much did a person like spend on this. I just think like, oh, they saw this and thought I would like that. Yeah. That's really nice to me.
Okay. And I wish I was more like that, because in the end, the way I feel does not help anything. It'd just be better if I was, just could appreciate it and move on. Kind of like, or not move on like I don't care anymore, just not harp on the negative things like I do.
Yeah.
So that's the theme of this episode. Be more like Luke.
So do you guys like kind of keep track of the things that you've gotten as gifts versus like buying yourself?
Step 1 to being more like Luke: get in bed and cry.
I got that one handled, man. My pillow is so soggy.
Soggy Pillow is a good band name. But anyway,
can somebody like send me a list of all the band names we've come up with in the past? Like, how long has this show been going on? 4 years? 3?
I don't know. I feel like most of the band names you're thinking of have been off the air.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Might be. Boys in the Fridge, it's on the list now. That's not clearly not taken somehow. Yeah, like it's Like, do you guys keep like a mental like track notes of like what you guys got as gifts versus like things that you bought yourself?
Definitely not. Like my birthday was 2 months ago, and I've already like me and my parents were trying to remember what they got me and what I got, and it's only been a couple months.
I mean, I can certainly look at something and remember, oh yeah, that was a gift versus, oh yeah, I bought that for myself.
Yeah.
But I don't keep like an active list or anything.
Yeah.
I don't have like a bullet board up in my room with like connected by like red wire or anything. Like, yeah.
Pictures of all your relatives or gift givers, the people that gave you stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Connected through the web. Sometimes there was joint accounts, you know. This Spider-Man poster on my wall, you know, that was Grandma and Grandpa along with my mom giving them the idea. So there's 3 pieces of yarn there. I kind of want to do this now because that would look psychotic on my wall.
It really would.
It would make me look more like Uncle Lance.
There's probably a way to turn that into a Christmas jump scare.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it could just be something as simple as, like, the eyes, you know, after, like, Satan, whatever happens. Because all of our episodes, Christmas episodes, have a point where it's normal, then a point where it's Satan. So once it hits the Satan point of the episode, we could have, like, all the eyes and the photos turn red, and, like, there's little, like, oozes of jam and jellies. Because it kind of looks like blood, you know.
Yeah.
And we can make that a joke point, you know. He, like, fingers the wall and he licks his finger, you know. Strawberry.
Right.
Don't think about the wording, just move past it. Nobody else is thinking about it, except for Sam. Sam's thinking about it. Maybe Daniel. Daniel's thinking about it. But anyway. Yeah, like, I don't know about you guys, but, like, if because I still have a few gifts, like, for my graduation party that I still, like, use daily. And I take way better care of those things than I did, you know, the same product that I bought like a week ago.
What gifts are they?
There's this one, I don't know this man at all, but he's somehow related to my dad, and he gave me this pen and pencil duo. It's like, it has my name engraved into like the silver plating.
Ooh.
Dang.
It's so cool. I love I don't know why this is the thing that I like the most at my grad party, but I just remember because I use this to like take my game notes and stuff for my broadcasting. So I use it like every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a nice pencil and a nice pen that it's just every day I use it. Meanwhile, I think I went to Walmart like maybe a month ago and I bought like the 40 pack of like the mechanical pencils.
Yeah. And
I have 2 remaining.
Oh my.
But like I misplaced those somehow way more. I don't even use those. I use the metallic mechanical pencil that I got. Like it's just stuff like that. Like somebody got me like a lightsaber. I haven't left the house with that ever. Meanwhile, I have bought 4, and they are on their last legs already. It was a year ago. Like it's just stuff that I get as a gift. Like my 2 monitors that I have that that's connected to my computer. Like I treat those way better than like the TVs that I have that I bought for $80, $100. Meanwhile, the monitors are probably about the same pricing. But like, yeah, like,
interesting.
The stuff that I get as gifts, like I keep that memory of like, this person gave it to me. And so I'll treat it better. Like there's still, I think, a few things that like Megan gave me that I'll still like take care of over everything else, even though I'm not certainly fond of her, but they still were gifts. So, take care of what you got.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys do the same or not.
I'm kind of similar. Like I will very rarely like toss something out. If I know that like I got it from somebody.
Yeah, because like there's always that moment like when you're cleaning out your closet or whatever, you pick up the T-shirt you haven't worn in like 3 months and like, do I still need this? Well, my grandma gave it to me, and she'll really rag on me that I'm not wearing that shirt she gave me. I don't think my grandma's listening to this, but this may be more of a real analogy than you guys realize. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got into this, but we're here. Welcome to the pod, everybody. Episode 11,000 and counting.
Yeah, approximately.
10 years, Rick and Morty. PoDumb, sorry.
So, Gabe sent me sent both of us a list of topic ideas, and I couldn't help but notice that one of them is referring to Justin Bieber's face.
Dude, it's so bizarre.
What?
Like,
You want to explain that one?
So half of Justin Bieber, this happened like 2 days ago, all right, 3 days ago. It's on his TikTok account. This is how I found out about it. It showed up on my For You page. I haven't seen anything Justin Bieber in like 3 years, but Justin Bieber has half of his face paralyzed through Scott turned my document down. I have it. Where is it? It's a disorder named after James Ramsey Hunt, the physician who first found out about it in 1907. It's a disease that cuts off a nerve right around your ear that like disconnects the rest of your facial muscles, so like your nervous system. So like I think it's the left half of his face just doesn't work anymore. Like his mouth doesn't move, his eyebrows doesn't move. He can still move his eyeball, but that's the only thing he can move on that side of his face. His nostril doesn't flare. Like, it's so bizarre. I feel so bad for him.
That's so sad.
Oh, yikes.
Just like, Justin Bieber hasn't had the best track record, but like recently he's been getting in with the better crowd. He's been hanging out with like hockey players and he's getting actual morals in life. And now that he's like going down that road, this to happen kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the guy, but that's awful.
Yeah, that's... I found out about this. It kind of twisted my heart a little bit. Because like this is the Canadian kid that like sang "Baby" when I was like 7 or whatever it was. It was like 2012.
Yeah.
But like it's a sucky situation. I hope he has a speedy recovery. But like,
Oh, that's something he can recover from?
Yeah, is this
Yeah.
a condition you can like...
there's a way to
that, like
treat
therapy
it.
can...
I would assume. But yeah, it's called Ramsey Hunt syndrome. There's different various types of it. I think there's 4 different subclasses of it. But yeah, I'm not a medical professional, and neither is Google. So,
Oh, he's married?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's crazy. Haley.
His dad's name is George. Or no, his grandpa, sorry.
Yeah. She's an American model. Interesting.
Huh.
How
Well,
long have
who
they
was
been
from?
married? So she's 2 years younger than him. So it's pretty married 2018. What?
So it's a couple years already.
It's been almost 4. If it's not at the first half, it could be 4, could be 5, could be less.
Wait, this is Stephen Baldwin's daughter?
What? No.
Yeah.
Wait, as in one of Alec Baldwin's siblings?
Yes.
Oh.
Huh. Well, I don't want to really go down a celebrity rabbit
Well,
hole, but
that's one
interesting.
strange Thanksgiving.
So according to MayoClinic.org,
Yes, because I'm going to trust that name.
this disease is connected to chickenpox in a way. So if you're vaccinated for chickenpox, you're resistant against a syndrome like this. Which, being that he's a little bit older than me, I would have assumed he had those shots too. But, yeah. Yeah, like this can cause, I guess that makes sense, can cause like tinnitus, like eye irritation. In extreme cases, blindness, apparently. Yeah, it's just it's a real sucky situation. I hope he's all right and has a recovery period. because I honestly don't know if that's comebackable. But yeah.
Drugs, corticosteroids, a short regimen of high-dose prednisone, appears to boost the effect of antiviral drugs in Ramsay-Hunt
So it's
syndrome.
just a waited out kind of thing.
It's kind of looking that way. Wait, there's a rash too?
What to expect from your doctor? He may attempt to slap you in the face. This is unavoidable. It will happen. Just let it.
You may experience periods of your life just missing.
Oh no!
As you enter into and out of a coma.
Hang on. Let me request an appointment just for fun. Oh.
A classic Mayo Clinic. Yeah, it's
that kind of makes me not want to trust this group if you can't even reach them for an appointment.
But yeah,
I think we may have lost Scott because I can't hear him, and now his thing says no internet.
I mean, I can.
Oh no, you're there. Okay.
Yeah. It's just Mayo Clinic cut you off. He knows too much.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See, watching the video of him like explaining like what has happened to him is so strange because like things move on that because like his eyes move around normally, but like he can't blink out of his one eye. That has to be such a strange like experience, like because you don't have that flash of dark anymore. You just have, permanent staring. It's gonna dry his eye out so badly. Like his vision's gonna be so lopsided if he does recover from it fully.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even think about that.
Like he's gonna have -7 on the right eye and like perfect vision on the other side. It's gonna be so strange.
Oh boy. Well.
So have you guys done anything since the last time we recorded, which was the 5th of June?
Well, played a softball game. I volunteered.
Did you win?
No.
All right. Well, who'd you guys play?
Victory Church.
Oh, okay.
Well, so our team has been pretty shaky anyway, but so Victory was short one player, and the audience isn't going to care about this, but guess who decided to help? Just decided to fill in for the other team.
Doug Fry?
Adam.
Oh my god. All right, so Adam, he batted 3rd in the order last season?
The last time he played. He's been away for a while.
So he's like one of the top fraggers for the
just
my old team,
best
Scott's current
overall player.
Guys, you can't say that.
No, all right, whatever. He played shortstop. I think that speaks for itself for people that know. Though they know, that's crazy. I don't see how that's allowed.
Well, he wasn't playing at all, so that's how they can get away with it.
Yeah.
He told us as he walked by, he was like, "I don't even want to play. This hurts my back," or something like that.
Sounds like Adam.
But anyway, you guys know where St. Vincent de Paul is?
It sounds like a restaurant of sorts.
It's not.
Yeah, I know, but like it does.
That's completely wrong. You're stupid.
We're aware. You don't have to point it out. Gosh.
Anyway, it's a. I guess it's a non-profit. It's like a Goodwill for. Gabe, don't distract me. Gabe's writing in a document that I have opened. Anyway, it's like a Goodwill for, specifically people who are like lower income.
Okay.
Stop. And anyway, so our church was helping them out, and I decided to be a part of that. And they were like, they needed help organizing inventory, so like sorting things on the shelf, basically.
Yeah.
Never before have I seen? That's not true. There was a lot of just stuff everywhere, and none of it was in any coherent order in the section where I was working. So there was 3 shake weights, which I never thought I would see in person.
It's always those infomercials with Mitchell McCarthy.
Whoever, yeah, sure. I don't know who that is.
I'm gonna see if she's real.
Wait, Melissa McCarthy?
Mitchell McCarthy.
Oh, Mitchell McCarthy. Okay.
I might have said the thing that you said.
Melissa McCarthy's a female, I'm using air quotes here, comedian.
Yeah, she's one of those.
That might be the one I'm referencing.
Is she in one of the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, she was one of the 2016 Ghostbusters.
So Mitchell McCarthy is a composer and orchestrator and producer of music. So take your pick your poison. Only difference is one's a man, one's a woman, and the man is much more talented because of this.
Oh my.
I'm not wrong. Both are equally famous in this chat room. So you were volunteering, and it was like run by homeschoolers essentially. I don't know if that's an accurate description.
The one you just gave, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, some homeschoolers are organized, some are not.
Yeah.
I mean, take Gabe and I for example.
Yeah, exactly. That's immediately where my mind went. I'm like, I don't know if that's. Yeah.
Yeah. But in any case, yeah, there's shake weights with light bulbs, with toy microphones, with Dollar General style Xboxes, with garden hoses, with like. I've never seen this before. It's a car window ice scraper with a fuzzy handle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like just stuff everywhere, and I spent like 3 hours
Packing
trying to. Well, just I mean, my goal was just to put things together, and hopefully that made the people who came in made it easy for them to find the thing that they wanted, and helped it make more sense for them.
Yeah, it sounds like a job that somebody with OCD would like really kind of enjoy.
In like a sadistic, masochistic, whichever one of those it is.
No,
Yeah.
because they would get the satisfaction of clearing it all up.
Right, but it's also stressful to them. Like it would be there's a pain associated with it.
Like, have you ever like spilled out like a package of like Skittles or M&Ms and sort them by color? Is this a me
Probably.
battle?
I mean, like whenever I eat Cheez-Its,
Yeah.
I have like all 4 edges have to be aligned whenever I put more than one in my mouth. I've noticed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have the same kind of thing as you.
What? You put more than one in your mouth?
What, Luke?
You put more than one in your mouth at a time?
Well, yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Like
Also-
three between 3 and 4 is like the sweet spot.
Really?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
right. I'm max out at 2. Because my OCD thing about Cheez-Its is the salted sides have to be out.
Oh, interesting.
Like that's
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys: on sandwiches, condiments up or condiments down?
Up.
Wait. Top loaf.
Right. Yeah. Top side of the meat.
Yeah.
Up. Yes. Up.
Yes.
Who puts down?
Well,
Like I feel like there's
if you open some fast food burgers, like some are on the bottom.
That's just because they're 12 and they don't know what they're doing. Which isn't anything against them because they're 12 and they're working a job, which is more than I was whenever I was 12.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. The
Top shelf.
top shelf.
Where you keep the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
This kind of feels like a bit that we have in Farce later on. We're not going to get to it today. But like that conversation line reminded me strongly.
Yeah.
of the tavern, but we'll get to that later. So, Luke, did you have anything you wanted to skim over or dive into?
Oh, like in
Like,
what?
over your last
Anything
week.
Well, I mean, we started. I'm in a Shakespeare in the Park.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. Oh, have I not told you about that?
Maybe. I remember the one. Is this the one that's in Pittsburgh?
No, that's not till October,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and
So-
that ain't Shakespeare.
Okay, yeah, right. That's that one.
Yeah.
But the Shakespeare in the Park, I don't remember you talking about this before.
Okay, yeah,
Which play is it?
Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, okay. I think I own that one.
I'm
So-
Claudio. If you know the show well enough.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I clearly do. And I'm
Can
very
you give
proud
us
that
a-
you got that role.
Can you give us a plot summary?
So basically, it's one of Shakespeare's comedies. So it's not like the entire cast is going to end up dead.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
So basically, show basically centers around 2 or 3 major romantic connections. There's Benedict and Beatrice, who start out the show basically constantly making fun of each other, and just like they have a much more of a rivalry than a friendship. And Benedict is this character who, like, he doesn't want to ever get married. He's not. Well, they both are kind of this we never want to get married type of thing. And the other main characters decide to they spend the show basically getting the two to think that they've both fallen in love with each other, so that they end the show together. Like they do end up getting together
to the point where they actually have fallen in love with
Yes,
each other.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Shakespeare
then-
was that old softy.
Classic Shakespeare.
And then my character, Claudio, he enters the show with these two characters, the Benedict character and Don.
Maggio?
Don. No. Don Pedro. They've
Okay.
all basically been at war, and the show opens with them coming back. And one of the first things that happens with my character is he re-meets the daughter of kind of the guy who's running the place that they're staying, and they end up engaged by like the end of the first act. But the big conflict with them comes from Don Pedro has this brother, Don John, who hates his brother and just wants to basically cause problems for everybody. He hatches this plan with a couple of these other bad guys to basically make Claudio think that Beatrice is just like Hero is just like a tramp.
Because he is. She is. Hero. This girl.
No,
Okay.
she's not.
She's not.
No, Hero's a girl. Hero's a girl. No, she's not.
She's a girl!
not.
Alright, go on.
So Claudio and Hero end up getting engaged, but as the week before their wedding goes on, these bad guys convince Claudio and Don Pedro that she's actually like sleeping around and like has multiple male suitors, so that when it comes to the day of the wedding, Claudio just denounces her in front of everybody, just calls her like, yeah, yeah. Claudio is not the best character. He's not perfect. And then some of the later half of the show is where things really get like weird and dumb for me. They pretend that Hero has died out of grief. They eventually find out the plan, and then rather than everybody just apologize, they tell Claudio that Hero is dead, but then tell him that she had like an identical cousin. And then when
What?
when he's set to marry the cousin and he's made it very clear like that he's sorry for slandering her, they immediately then double back and say, oh yeah, no, this is actually her, she's not actually dead, and then they all get married and it's fine. It's a really dumb conclusion to the story.
It sounds like
I forgot about that.
It sounds like something that we would write in like a 10-minute segment.
Oh, we wish.
Man, really. See, I watched what's the guy's name? Not Will Ferrell.
Will Smith?
No, not black. White guy. People kind of hate. He's in Pixels. Happy Gilmore. Waterboy.
Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler. I watched an Adam Sandler movie this morning with Andy Samberg in it. I don't remember what it was called, but it kind of had the same vibe as that.
Go on.
Like, so, all right, so the premise of the movie, I don't remember the title. I can't even, like, look it up. I don't know anything about the movie other than what I'm going to tell you. Like, the premise of the movie is, so, protagonist sleeps with his teacher in, like, end of middle school, start of high school. It was never clear. They have a kid. The teacher goes to prison for 30 years because it's illegal, and the protagonist's dad has to care for the child until protagonist is 18, and then he gets full custody of the kid. So they don't explain anything after that until 30 years down the line, when that child is getting married to this woman, and
Sandberg.
Yeah, Sandberg is getting married to this woman.
That's my boy.
That's what it is. And so, have you guys seen it before? No? Yes? Probably
no,
not.
I just Googled it.
Okay.
I just Googled Adam Sandler movie with Andy Samberg.
Yeah, so it gets to, 90% of the film is Adam Sandler, the protagonist, rekindling all the lost years of fatherhood and sonhood that was missed out. Because the son left because, it's an 18-year-old trying to raise like a 15-year-old or whatever it was. Which doesn't really end
probably
well.
Not
that math doesn't.
It's something along the lines of there's like 8 years difference between the two characters, but whatever. But
oh, jeez,
don't think about it too much.
Do they play this? I assume they play all this off as a comedy, right?
Yeah, it's a comedy movie. It was a great comedy. I really liked the movie.
That's really dark, though.
But it's such
like an 8-year-old slept with his.
It wasn't 8. It was like 15.
It says while still a teen himself, Adam Sandler fathered a son, Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
So he's at least 13 years older than the son.
Yeah. So that's still a super small age gap by today's standard.
Sure, yeah.
200 years ago, maybe. But like now, no. But like 200 years ago, you had like a age expectancy of like 16. So like it was fine. So like the whole movie is just them like rebuilding the relationship, which is it's really great up until there's a plot point that drove them back apart. Like Adam Sandler's character needed money to not go to prison because he had like $43,000 in debt to the government from unpaid taxes, and so he had to come up with that money before the end of the movie or else he was going to jail. And that's what motivated him to get back into his kid's life. And then after he met his kid again, he realized how similar they were and how much he wanted to have that relationship back. And so it goes over, I think it's 5 days of rebuilding that relationship before the kid realizes why his dad first met him back. And then they have a split apart because of that. And the next time they see each other is at the wedding where Adam Sandler jumps down the center aisle with Vanilla Ice behind him. And he says, "Don't marry her. She's a skank and she's sleeping with her brother." And everyone gasps because it's true. And they explain this during like plot points in the movie. And like so Andy Samberg being Andy Samberg, he's like, "You what?" And you're like, and everyone gasps again. And then like I can't remember like the next points, but that's just, it really reminded me of the play, like the whole like, you can't marry her because she's sleeping around, but this time it was true.
It's such a good movie. Like, if you have nothing else to watch it. Otherwise, you could probably skip it. It's like in my top, I would watch it again at some point with somebody who's never watched it. Otherwise, I'll never touch that movie again. Because it's Adam Sandler. It's like a one and done kind of thing.
That's really weird.
It's such a weird premise. They really did a good job with it. I was really happy to watch it with my dogs this morning. Yeah.
Huh. Well,
So
okay then.
Is there anything other than the play that you're doing this last week, Luke?
Well, I did a bunch of door dashing.
Sweet. Did you meet anybody interesting?
Not really.
No, just casual.
I don't
Like,
really
here's your food.
meet
Leave me
people.
alone.
It's honestly more like it's more like I look at the phone and it says, "Put it on the door, leave me alone."
Understandable. That's the same mantra I got while FedExing. If I don't have to sign anything, you better not talk to me. I don't care if I'm out in my garage. Just give box, go away.
No,
Yeah.
if I run into the people,
Well, yeah,
like
it's like short
they're
conversation.
nice. Like they're really. I've actually not really interacted with anyone who was just straight up like mean.
Yeah.
so this brings to mind a very serious question, guys.
Go
How
on.
do you meet women?
You don't.
Uh,
Women meet
'Cause-
you.
Oh,
Flaps cape, throw his hair back in the wind. Dun, dun, dun.
because like, obviously, well, my job, Luke's job, and your job too, Gabe,
Yeah.
are poor ways of meeting ladies our own age that we might share interests with.
I mean, I just want an individual which is also of the female party. That is the only thing I'm requesting at this point in time. Age
No,
is
that's
just a
not
number,
true.
and if you play
Whoa.
bingo, so be it.
If you play bingo and make good cookies, I'm still down.
All I'm saying is, like, if I got 22 on B, like, we can make something happen.
Smash?
Play Smash Bros. Do what you want.
Yeah, that. So seriously though, how do you make
mean-
socialization happen?
There's obviously, like, every woman that I've met in my time
Mm-hmm.
has come through a church setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because it's just an entire web of people with connectivity.
Yeah.
And the only people that I've met there hasn't been... Because to some extent, everything in my life connects to church to some degree. Like, how I met Zoe was volleyball night at my church. How I met Maddie was a job I got through my church connection, which she also had connections back to my church. And then, Megan went to my church.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because that's where I spend all my time. So that's, the kind of people that I meet. But at the same time, you can't approach women anymore without being, sexist or whatever.
Nah, come on. I don't think that's...
It's not entirely true.
that's not always true.
But if you're not attractive, you're more than likely to be viewed out and
depends.
become a story to somebody.
I think it depends on how you carry yourself and how you approach. Like, I mean, if you, I feel like you're more likely to for that to work out if you're like, "Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. I happened to see you, and I thought it might be interesting to get to know you a bit." That might go better than if you go, "Hey."
I don't know, that second one, worked a charm for me, as you can clearly see. Everyone loves the Tasmanian devil. The fart noise gets him every time. And then I spin Beyblade style and create a vortex out of the Walmart parking lot.
And both you and her have disappeared.
Yeah. And Caleb is left alone with the food. I'm wondering what just happened.
No, he
Caleb, my
knows.
brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he knows because he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Where do
So
people...
I think Luke has, I think, more of the approach that I would consider correct.
Yeah.
Like the whole "I would like to get to know you" thing. That feels. I wouldn't say that. Just the.
I'm not saying that's
ask them about
exactly how I
event.
would word it type
Yeah,
of
I
thing,
mean,
but like that's the
okay.
sentiment that you want to get across.
When you're in
Well,
the moment,
sure.
you know, words kind of become Latin, and you don't really know the difference between Latin and Spanish, so you just kind of make noises and hope it goes well.
Yeah, no, I know for a fact I wouldn't. I know for a fact I wouldn't end up saying any of that because I would just be like, hey,
He's a girl. Yeah.
yeah, I'd just be like, hey, okay,
You're a girl, right?
and then leave.
Yeah. I mean, as we all would do. Like, all right. So I've had this conversation more than I feel like I should have. But like, it seems like the solution at the end of every single one of the conversations was you find the product of people based on the location you go to. You'll find drunks at the bar. You'll find athletes at the YMCA or the gym, whichever you like. They're both the same thing. You'll find like Christians at church, etc., etc. You'll find music fans at a concert.
Yeah.
So if you just go places that you like to be, you'll find somebody with common interest. But if it's all on Discord, there's no way to do it. There's no possible way to do it.
Gabe, that's a 10 out of 10 point. Seriously. And I have thought that exact same thing.
I know because you said it. That's where I got it from.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I didn't think I did. But yeah, you're right. It's like I have to look at myself and say, well, what is something that I genuinely enjoy that would actually get me out of the house that could potentially help me bump into people? And it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It just, other friends too. It could be.
Yeah.
But like legitimately, what is something? And honestly, part of my reason for volunteering with my church was part of that reasoning. Now the median age
is probably vastly higher than we expected.
Was 65.
Hey, I mean my crowd right there. Like, you play bingo?
Yeah, they play bingo.
Get the fast lane, we're ready to roll.
Which is okay. I still got to,
Yeah.
People are okay.
People have granddaughters. Like,
You're not wrong.
All I'm gonna say.
I mean, none of these did, but
no. Well, like, think about it. I'm not upset. You're upset.
Yeah. No. So it's just baby steps like that. I feel like is what I've found to be the appropriate steps forward.
You could also say like college is also a form of that, because like you get around a lot of people your own age. Unless you're going in late, like I probably will end up doing. But
I beg your pardon?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I ever go to college, I'll be like 30 at that point, because right now it's not happening.
Why not?
Because I don't want it, and it's money that I don't have, and I don't know how long I'm sticking around up here. So,
okay.
But yeah, like college is a mixed bag of literally everybody, except like
Yeah. Well, just a word of warning. Something that I've experienced is that the people around you, so the people at BC3 right now, but most of the people I bump into are Sam's age, Luke's younger brother.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, people leave right from high school into college, which is something I did not do. So I'm a sophomore at 24, and Sam is just going into his sophomore year as I'm exiting it. What is he, like 19?
12. How old is he? 19?
So, and that's a significant age gap, especially across gender, I think.
To a certain extent.
Like Sam and I can be friends, but like I think it's weird to have a friend let's say, girl that you would hang out with at that age? I mean, I had class friends that were girls
Sure.
that I talked to. That was fine. But I would never, like, if you want to hang out, I'm a loser.
You want to go skating? With me, like slicks
I'm
back
really
hair.
quick.
I'm really talented on my feet. Oh.
Want a corn dog?
I mean, like, all right. So what's the maximum age gap that you think you'd consider?
At my age?
Yeah, currently.
Because it depends on what age you are.
Yeah, as you go down the line, you don't care as much. Like, you could be 60
Right.
and the other person be 50, and you've been on this earth more than you want to already. So
Yeah. So for me, let's see. The youngest I would probably go is 21 or 22.
okay.
Luke?
For me, it's 4 years either direction.
Okay.
So I had
Wait,
this.
either direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, up to 4 years younger and up to 4 years older.
So you're 23. So you date a 27-year-old woman?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not? She has. All right. So 27-year-old woman seems like an awesome relationship because she
Go on.
knows what's up. She's been around for a while. Like, she knows how to do taxes. Me, on the other hand, not so
You never
much.
do them!
I don't commit tax evasion. I just don't do my taxes. It's easy. Like,
Sure, but on the other side of that, I would also date a 19-year-old.
no, I don't. I had the same thing up until Scott mentioned how big the age gap to 19 would be. Because, like, I have nothing in common with a 19-year-old.
Well, you're 22, so that's less.
I mean,
it's not as bad.
All right.
Well, let's see.
Don't do the
was
math.
trying to think. I was 20. First girl I dated, she was 17.
Yeah,
Which that's
fine.
significant.
I mean, it's a year.
Well,
FBI, open up!
that's a year.
Did you just?
I was 20.
Oh, you said 20. I heard 18 and 17. I'm like, that's fine, whatever.
What?
I don't know
Yeah.
how I heard the things that I heard, but I did. And even though I knew the story beforehand, I still thought the things. All right, so yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit.
But yes, to quote Luke, FBI, open up.
But if you don't know that prior to, like, going into it,
I did.
all right, well, you're not supposed to say that on the air. Gosh.
I mean, nothing happened. She dumped me, which is like the ultimate insult.
Yeah.
What?
What?
It's all good.
In the hood? I mean, like, I guess if you click with somebody that's 4 years younger than you, it's fine. But, like, I don't think I know it. Like, I went into a Sheets yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and I saw, like, 18 and a 19-year-old girl.
Mhm.
And it just, they look so young. Like,
Right?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
It felt like they were a child to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, my hair was longer than theirs, and I had more facial hair. Which, the second one's a good thing. But at the same time, like, it's such a bizarre... I feel like I'm getting old. It's a very bizarre feeling.
Well, you are.
Yeah, but, like...
That's okay.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's mostly okay.
I can't wait to be, like, 80 years old and pretend I have dementia.
You can do that now.
Yeah, but, like...
I mean, you've had enough concussions.
Yeah. Yeah, but it'd just be weird. Like, if you see an old person, you're kind of 50-50 tossing the ball up. Like, do they know who I am? Do they not know who I am? Like, they're my grandpa, right? Like, if you're, like, 16, 17, maybe, like, up to, like, the age of, like, maybe 40, like, that's not even a thought that crosses your mind. Like, do they have memory issues? No. They're still in their prime.
Yeah.
Which, the older I get, the prime becomes later down the line. Like, I still feel like 30's not that old, but, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I think I
Age is
vibe.
relative.
I think I vibe with a higher age than I do, like, younger than me.
Are you talking in a romantic
Both
dynamic?
ways.
Both.
Yeah.
You've never dated somebody older than you.
I mean, unless you count Zoe, but, like, that's a month. Yeah, Yeah, but like I vibe a lot easier with people that are older than me because I've had more time to like study the game tapes. Like I know what Wayne's World is. I've watched Bill and Ted religiously for years now. So like I got gameplay footage to go over with the 90s kids. But like anything after me, like I don't know who the heck the Paw Patrol people are. All I know is they were on TV at some point after I stopped watching it.
Yeah, do you relate to that, Luke? Because I do.
In terms of certain things, I definitely get that. Not. I don't know.
So, well, you grew up. I mean, last one of the other episodes, you talked about growing up with the Mel Blanc show and Marx Brothers and all those older stuff. And and I think all of us have kind of grown up on the media of generations prior rather than let's say our own. So do you Luke, do you think you get along better with older people in a certain sense than with people our age?
I feel like I'm pretty good at kind of blending in with either. Like, I don't really have any trouble talking to people my own age.
It's just because you're awesome and stuff. Like, it's understandable.
Well, that's fair, because, Luke, you're much more of an extrovert than Gabe and I.
Like, I could go without talking to somebody for, like, 2 months and be perfectly fine. I think I've done that before.
Well, if you don't leave your room, I guess that's possible.
Yeah. That's what I do my best work. Yeah. Alone.
Well, I don't know. I kind of, in a way, I relate to Gabe too, because, there's different age groups at our church that are just that. They're groups. They don't always overlap. And I've always ended up in the groups that, are my parents' age, essentially. So all my coworkers, until a few weeks ago, were older than 50. There's just always been a 20 to 40 year age gap.
Yeah.
Between the people I hung out with, like work, church. So, like, I know how to handle that age group in a conversation better than I do the youth at my church, because I legitimately do not know how to relate to them. I don't understand their music, these darn kids. I don't understand like what the movies they watch. I don't do any of that. It's like if you want to talk about a book I've read, that's cool, but like I've not watched Marvel movies recently.
If you want to discuss the inner machinations of the Silmarillion, you know who to call. But if you're pointing at your arm and going, sheesh, I don't know how to respond to this.
I don't know what to do, and in fact, I will kick you upside the head.
I will show you what everybody calls the people's elbow.
I'm gonna remind you of my Lord and Savior, Randy Orton. The Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like even like my friend group now, like I think I'm still like the second youngest if I don't count my brother. Which is kind of strange because I'm younger than both of you. And
yeah,
it's so bizarre.
I mean, it's not noticeable between the three of us, I don't think.
I mean, we're all raised the same form and fashion, basically, together. Yeah. Like even like my friend group from Texas that I hang out on Discord like nightly. Like I'm the second baby because Orange exists. Caleb,
yeah.
But like even still, it's so strange because I've never been like the senior of any of the groups that I'm in. That also lets me play, the chaotic neutral character.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird for me whenever the day comes when people aren't saying, "Oh my gosh, I forgot how young you were," because that happens all the time, and it's like like at first it was almost flattering, but now it's like, yeah, I know. You're old.
You're the Dairy Queen drive-through. She's, yeah, I know. Here's my card, whatever.
It's just, and I that's just always been the case for me.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I guess I've been saying I'm old a lot more now that I've been in school because I'm, between
you're above
2
the
and 4
median.
years older than everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. I have made the mistake saying that I feel old in the wrong company before.
Oh, don't. You can't do that, man.
I wasn't even thinking. Like, it was the first instance that I've ever had of, like, I'm not relating to somebody my own age. And it was so bizarre that I had to bring it up to somebody. It just so happened to be, I was working Jeep Fest at Cooper's Lake, and I was working with 3 70-plus-year-old men, and I accidentally let that slip out because we were just talking. And I'm like, man, I feel really old. And they're like, oh, do you? Please enlighten us on how old you feel. How old are you? 17. Well, how about that? And immediately, I sank back in my chair. They went on for 2 hours. 2 hours. Nobody came in. Nobody went out. I never found an excuse to leave. Oh my god, it was entertaining. I just played the victim. I just sat back in my seat. I'm like, all I was gonna say is I don't understand, like, the Pokemon game. That's because Pokemon Go just came out. I'm like, I don't understand it. That's all I was gonna say. We're gonna move past this. Yeah, it's a strange feeling, and it'll only get worse.
Yeah, this is true.
Can you imagine? Like, when we get, like, 80, if we make it to 80, like 70, nursing home age, wine or cheese at bingo night. Oh, it'd be great. People our age are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
What do you mean the bear is following me? I took out its legs.
I used my laser vision.
What? Do you think when people become geriatric in the future that...
Yeah.
They think they'll have laser vision?
Well, it's wine or cheese.
Well, in wine or cheese.
Yeah, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
I seduced the bear with my stunning 18-year-old good looks that I once had. Definitely. Like, I'm excited for nursing home age.
Are you, Gabe?
I really am.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Somebody to pamper me while I play Minecraft. Oh, that sounds amazing. That's all I want in life. That's my end
Your reaction
goal.
time will be really bad. You'll get killed by creepers all the time.
I don't care. I'll put it on peaceful. There's ways around this. I'll finally have time to, like, build my dream house in Minecraft. All I want. I'll finally have time to finish the farce.
Yeah, you get wrecked by that creeper, you freaking noob. I'm over here playing Doom Eternal.
You can hear, like, the music leaking out of the headphones.
Rip and tear, whippersnappers.
I'm hitting 90s, you noob. Gosh, I'm because like, people, like, whenever we're old are still gonna be, like, dyeing their hair and, like, receiving tattoos.
It's already happening. I've already seen that.
Yeah, like it's just gonna be like what we see kids our age do nowadays. Just they're gonna be wrinklier, maybe. Like, I can't wait for 80-year-old TikTok. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Well, until a few years when we're able to upload our consciousness onto the internet.
In the metaverse, the Facebook.
Yeah. Then everyone will have smooth skin forever.
Well,
from our point of view.
I think Wi-Fi is going to go out in, like, 10 years. Like, there's
out? What do you mean?
Like, the 5G towers that are, like, getting switched to now? Now phone carriers don't support, like, 3G anymore.
Right.
Yeah, those dang antennas gave me COVID.
Like, 6G is going to be faster than most, like, Wi-Fi connections. Like, it's going to be gigabytes. Really? This is, like, like 20 years in the future. They're making the chips for it now though. Like Apple has 6G capability in most of their newer stuff that's not released yet.
That's
so
cool.
It's like cellular stuff, because self-driving cars are going to need like immediate response time. So like this is to like help facilitate that. Which it's going to be insane to think that your cellular is going to be faster than your Wi-Fi.
That is crazy.
But like, I always joked around with like the older people while I worked Jeep Fest, like, I mean, I'm gonna hit your guys' age, and instead of like, oh, what's this new touchscreen? It's gonna be like, oh, what's this? I remember when we used to have Wi-Fi, and whenever you would get like a phone call, you'd hear through the phone.
It's gonna be like, Billy, I blinked wrong and now I'm watching the YouTube.
Bill Nye in Chinese is playing before. Have you guys heard Bill Nye the Science Guy's theme song in Chinese?
I've not even heard it in English.
You know how they go Bill, 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 Bill.
Yeah.
In Chinese, it's beer, 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 beer. So it sounds like it's a drinking game a little bit. If you haven't heard it, look it up. It's amazing.
I thought it sounded like wine or cheese.
Well, you know, whose turn is it?
Beer.
Beer, beer. You know, every story could be enhanced by the feature of a few bear characters.
Well, it's difficult to disagree.
Because it is. It really is. You know, it's very difficult to disagree, as you've said. And it is also difficult to come up with a story to segue into. Gosh.
Well, what's our...
Yet.
Like, my recording's at an hour 43, but I know we started... I started this...
Just keep going. No, once
yeah, but we want...
Mine's
do we want one podcast?
22.
I mean, you know,
well, that's mine. I started a bit later.
Okay. Do we want one podcast out of tonight or just two? Or two?
I mean, we can do two. I mean, the next one we could like shorten it down a little bit. You know,
okay.
Play it by ear. Do we want to do both farce and wine or cheese?
I can see why not.
I can keep wine or cheese short. All right. So you're in a forest. There's bears.
I think it's Scott's turn.
Scott's in the forest. There are bears. A man.
But you growed at me. I did it last time.
A man approaches you and throws a bottle and a small wrapped bag of cheese at you. How do you react?
Can I take both?
Yeah, you can take both.
I'll take both.
All right, you take both. He runs away. He's gone. And the bears are behind him. They're chasing you now. How do you respond?
It's the running of the bears. This is the Canada running of the bulls.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. It's snowy. It's starting to snow. It's not on the ground yet. The bears are chasing, and you have wine and cheese in your hand. The cheese wrapped, the wine with the cork still in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how would you?
So I'm in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of bears are these?
They're grizzly. I don't. Medium bears.
So bears are faster. They're better climbers, and they're better swimmers.
Correct.
So I'm screwed.
Not entirely. But yeah.
All right. So
you have one option, and I really want to see if you can get this.
I have one option.
You have one option. If you get this, I'll give you the win. I don't know if you can get this though.
I take a downed log, push it into a nearby river, and float away on it.
You had two options.
What was my option?
Outrun the guy that handed you the wine or cheese. So you're on this log going down the river. A couple frogs jump on, mellow you on along with the ride.
Oh, cool! I got friends.
Yeah, you could call them that. The bears kind of just keeping pace with you along the shoreline. They're I almost said they're homophobic. They're hydrophobic. They don't like gay people and they don't like water. All in the same boat. So there you are with the frogs, gay, mind you. Gosh, this is the best segue ever. So Alex Jones was correct. You're on the log with the gay frogs, or something in the water, I suppose. Bears keeping pace with you, looking at the wine, looking at the cheese, looking at you, all in consecution.
What is that word?
Consecution. What do you mean? It's in order of sequence.
Oh, okay.
It's a new word. I made it up.
It might be, but it might not be.
All right, so they're looking at you. They're looking at the cheese. They're looking at the wine. They're looking at the frogs. They're scared of the frogs, scared of the water. In front of you is a waterfall. As you inch closer to it, how do you respond to this? The time is ticking.
I have to bail ship. I jump off of the log and swim to the opposite shore where the bears are not.
All right. Well, you want to play it like this. Be super specific. Now that you're learning how to play wine or cheese after episode 35. So you make it to the other shoreline safely.
Well,
the rapid waters.
I see.
And you leave the frogs behind. The frogs, vengeful, try to hop along with you, drown in the water. They go over the edge. Bears just staring at this all happening, kind of chuckling to themselves, thinking that they had all the power in this scenario. You flee as the bears start swimming because their want to eat you and the cheese and the wine outweigh they're no longer homophobic because the frogs aren't there, so they don't have the double whammy anymore. So now they just got to overcome their fear of water. So now they're swimming after you. You flee into the forest when you come upon a merchant named Luke.
A merchant named Luke, huh?
Yeah, it's strange. It's like Luke should play this character or something.
Mr. Merchant Luke, tell me, what wares do you sell?
I sell shirts that I sell shirts that were formerly worn by the band members of Kiss.
And you're in the middle of a forest peddling them for some reason.
Who else is gonna buy them? People? No, it's strictly a bear market. There's a stock market joke in there.
I was banned from selling my wares off of eBay because they had a policy change that only allowed things that were no longer held by people. So I wasn't able to sell on eBay, and Amazon is mad at me after I tried to poison Jeff Bezos. So I ended up here because I was also banned from most countries where Kiss has ever performed. My options were very limited.
Well, you and I are not so different, you and I. We are both running out of options here. You see, I gotta stop doing this character. There's freaking bears running after me, and I gotta get out of here.
The bears appear behind Scott.
Oh, shoot.
Not like immediately.
Chicago Bears?
Unfortunately, no.
Justin Fields pops down from the tree. That is the quarterback of the Bears, for those of you who do not know. He's like if God played football. Some would say.
Not, is he?
He is. He's the quarterback of the Bears.
He can't be that good. It's the Bears.
Yeah, he's actually pretty decent. Anyway, one of my Bears fans once described him as such, and I will continue the trend.
Okay. Mr. Luke Merchant Man.
Yeah, what do you want? That's me.
Do you have any suggestions on how I would get out of this predicament?
Well, it just so happens that I have right here the entire attire worn by Paul Stanley at the 2011 concert.
Did you have to look up? Did you have to look up the members of the Kiss band?
Yes.
Continue.
He wore this when they recorded their album Love Gun. If we dress you up that way, I'm sure the bears will not have any appetite. Just one thing I need to ask before you change into my attire. Do you have any articles of food on your person?
Well, I just so happen to have a bundle of cheese here with me. I will trade you for it for your outfit.
Only cheese? You have nothing else?
Well, I suppose I could offer you this wine as well.
Deal! I shove the wine or cheese into a life and complete my life, my character's full-scale replica of Gene Simmons.
I don't know who that is.
That's the bass guitarist of the band Kiss.
And how is wine and cheese the completion of that?
I needed cheese to complete the skin tone, and I needed wine because I needed to make him drunk.
The merchant vanishes into the woodwork. You receive no t-shirts. Justin Fields was just torn apart by the bears 6 feet behind you. Scott, how you getting out of this one, bud?
Don't call me bud, Squirt. I know. So I throw a penalty flag into the into the mob of bears, distracting them because you see they've roughed the quarterback, and I make another break for it.
The Bears receive a 10-yard penalty and a loss of downs. You get a little bit extra ground from this. Shoot. All right. Hang on. I'm thinking. All right. So you come to a clearing where you see 3 kangaroos standing in the middle of this field.
I thought I was in Canada.
It is. I don't. All right.
Okay,
you want like the whole mythology behind why the kangaroos are there, or do you just want to accept that
sorry.
they're there?
There's 3 kangaroos.
I can make a story up right now. Why? All right. So there's this airliner. All right. There's 3 kangaroos out in the field. There's 3 bears behind you with a fresh one. A few of them deciding not to pursue you after because you don't have the cheese anymore. They've already had their meal with the god of football. The god if he played football.
Mm-hmm.
Also for Chicago Bears. So there you are, standing between the woods and the field with 2 options. Pursue into the field or try to tread along the tree line.
Wait, there's kangaroos there still?
Yeah, there's still kangaroos out in the field.
Can I go talk to them?
You can try.
I kind of want to.
All right, so you start trying to converse. You go up to the kangaroos. The kangaroos stare at you.
Mm-hmm.
I know where this is going now. All right, so you're up to the kangaroos. You're up to bat with all 3 of them. And so, what would you like to say to the kangaroos?
Well, I would say good evening, General. Pete. Hi there. I was wondering. Gosh, this is how I feel. Remember we were talking about how awkward we are when we go out to talk to women.
This is even a fictitious. You're talking to 3 kangaroos in a fake scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very real scenario. You should be fearing for your life right now. These are kangaroos. You know how vicious kangaroos are? You really are. Your pants are soiled through. You don't even have like a spare pair of underwear on you. The kangaroos are chuckling at your wet pants. I don't know how you're gonna recover from this. Like you're humiliated by these inanimate objects in this fictitious story. There's bears like 10 feet behind you right now. How what's your game plan there, bud?
Gabe.
I love being the antagonist.
Well, I got it. I whisper to the kangaroos, "Hey, these bears behind me, they told me that marsupials suck." Kangaroos are marsupials.
Is a famous guitarist in the Kiss
band.
No,
that's Gabe. Marsupials are like mammals that are like kangaroos are marsupials. Also,
Crikey, mate, this bloke here is mansplaining all species to us. Are we
Get
gonna
him!
take that?
No, we're not gonna take that. I just want a little nibble. We're gonna take him downtown and show him what Vegemite tastes like.
No, the bears are the ones that told me all this about marsupials. They're the ones.
I think he's putting words in the bear's mouth.
Why?
The kangaroos now possess boxing gloves in each of their hands.
Oh, is this going to devolve into last wine or cheese?
So, you have two options, Scott. You can outdrink the kangaroos, or you can try to outfight them.
You can consume more Vegemite than the kangaroos.
What about
A tent explodes from the ground and upright. You are on stage with a scrawny-looking kangaroo. No.
what about the bears?
All right. So you fight the kangaroos. You fight the bears. Which one do you feel more at peace with?
Well,
Before you can decide, the bears get to you. they pick you up in the air, and they try to do like the Karate Kid drop you onto their knee thing. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
They miss. So there you are, face down.
Because they don't have
eyes up.
knees.
Yeah,
that
they
are very
don't. Yeah,
pronounced.
exactly. Thank you. You picked up on it. I'm actually really happy about that. So you're looking up. A couple bears on your left, a couple kangaroos on your right. A third person, like he's just kind of there. He's like looking over you as well.
Oh, I wonder if Luke plays this character.
Oh no.
Oh,
Well, if
okay.
Luke wants to, he can.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'll try.
Hi, I'm back. You forgot your disguise.
He shoots a t-shirt cannon with a Kiss t-shirt at your chest.
Thinking quickly, I bend over and allow the shirt to wear itself on me. It goes right on.
Okay, sure. So the kangaroo's like, crikey, where did he go? There's only this Kiss fan in front of us. The bears, being bears and have no sentience right now, they don't really see a difference in the disguise.
So contrived. Go on.
Would you like to try to persuade the kangaroos again? Or fight the bears?
I duck around behind the kangaroos, putting them between me and the bears.
Crikey, where'd that Kiss fan go? So, I don't know where to take this story. Very confused, very out of it. Much like your character right now, discombobulated, some might even say. So there you are, standing behind the three kangaroos, three bears on the opposite side. The bears try to get through the kangaroos to get to you. The kangaroos don't take kindly to that and start beating up on them. Where
This was my plan.
they're promptly torn apart by the bears because they are bears.
This was not my plan.
And the kangaroos are merely from Australia. Don't know why that's a characteristic I went
make
with.
another. I sprint across the clearing, back into the woods, I guess.
Yeah, where you're confronted by a teenage girl. I don't know, look, do you want to try playing this character as well?
Oh my gosh, how are you?
Thank you.
You ruined my TikTok. Get out of here.
Well, you're about to get a bunch of hits, a bunch of views. I'm out of here.
The bears proceed to give the girl a lot of hits through various trampling as they try to proceed after you.
Ow, ow.
Or the noises she makes.
Oh god.
So there you are, running through the woods. You hear shaking behind you. You're too scared to look back. You're just your head's in your feet, looking ahead of you, trying to make sure you don't trip on anything. You're very clumsy. You trip on a tree root. You break your ankle.
Oh golly gee!
You turn around to face, like to assess how far away the bears are. They're pushing over entire trees to get to you. They're just boom, boom, boom. They're coming after you. Boom.
I picture
boom,
a train whistle blowing
Hot and
as they're
heavy.
trucking things over.
I'll aboard the. I can't. I was gonna say the brain. That's already a word. I can't really work bear train. The betrain. I don't know. So you're getting a pain train's coming downtown, courtesy of the Bear Man, the Bear Nation. I'm trying real hard to make a pun out of this. It's not happening. So the bears are getting closer to you, closer. You start scurrying away on your back. Whenever you happen upon a sword on your left hand.
Do I know?
Yeah,
It's like a medieval broadsword.
kind of.
Well, what is it? Is it a katana?
Yeah, it's the shape of a broadsword. Yeah, double blade, 2 blades to it.
All right. Well, even with a sword, I simply cannot
You're correct.
fight off a horde of bears. Perhaps one.
Yeah, well, there's still 3 of them.
Well,
Let's say there's 2 of them. Let's say one stayed back to eat the kangaroo.
Oh,
God.
I am
Is
the
that-
spirit of the sword, Scott.
The spirit of the sword. What? Tell me.
Be up with-
I mean, are you gonna listen to the sword, Scott? You're gonna take that from the sword?
Spirit of the sword. What do I do? I only got one line, man.
I'm just a sword, man. I wasn't even prompted to do this by the narrator. I mean, I'm just kind of here.
Well, Mr. Spirit of the Sword, this is gonna hurt a little. I start cutting
My
down.
existence is already paid.
I start cutting down a tree next to me in an attempt to have it fall towards the bears.
With the sword?
Yeah.
This sparks another story. I'll get into later on. All right, fine. You start
But
cutting down.
because it's a magical sword, I guess, I cut through it in 3 swipes. Yeah.
That's crazy,
beat
but the
that.
bears reach you on the second swipe. Ooh. And they pick up the sword. And they stare at the sword. And they look back at you. And they stare at the
I
sword.
run away.
The sword runs away. You, on the other hand, realize the mantra of cheaters never prosper.
Oh,
And the bears pick you up and give you the people's elbow. And they split you
Game
in 2.
sucks.
And they split you in 2, in twain. That's a fancier word for in 2. And there you fizzle out. Just as last parts of your life, go away. Yeah, that's the end of today's Wine or Cheese. Tune in next week where Scott gets dismembered even farther by bears.
From hell's heart I stab at thee are my final words.
Okay. Sure. So yeah, that was a good episode. That was a pretty good bit. I really enjoyed that. That was
I
pretty
died
on
again.
topic. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty good. And you got killed by a bear.
I wasn't
Mission
really a fan,
accomplished.
honestly. I don't know if I would consider that.
I really enjoyed the t-shirt cannon bit.
I don't really think that. The kangaroos were a bit too far, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I mean, the special effects are pretty great though. It's too great to see in visual aspects, but in the audio
yeah, I mean,
sense.
the 3D was okay, but honestly, I couldn't really. Yeah.
I forgot my glasses at home, so I only saw it on the TV. in
Yeah,
front
I
of us.
couldn't really see. It was just that one person. I couldn't see.
Oh,
Teddy Roosevelt.
Cameron Diaz. Oh. Well, yeah. Do we want to? All right. So, do we want to do a farce, one farce readout? Then cap
this
it off.
episode's getting pretty long,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I mean a little bit.
So
It's going on what, 2 hours? Gosh.
yeah,
All right. So next time.
next time we'll do first.
Yeah.
I think there's not much else to do, right, Gabe?
Yeah, it really isn't. Luke, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I was just wondering, how do people in zombie movies know that they're craving human flesh unless they've tasted it before?
Man, I'm really glad this wasn't about the moon.
That's a valid question,
It
though.
really is. Next time on the PoDumb.
But seriously, how? That's a valid question. Like, is it a biological thing? Like the virus just magic. They want to eat people now. Not only are they undead, but they want to eat people. Like, how is that a virus? Like, at least with rabies, like there's just like craziness and anger. It doesn't have to be like I have to have this specific type of meat.
Well, like, is it like, because this happened to people on bath salts before, where like cannibalism was a stronger urge than normal, which is normally 0 for most people. So like any amount is higher than the normal amount. It's like the first therapy session where you're like, so how much do you want to cease living? Well, not the same amount as normal. None. It's the same amount as normal. Well, maybe a little bit more than that.
More than usual.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Good final thought.
Yeah, genuinely.
A good starting thought for the next episode. Welcome back.
All right, that looks like that's all the more time we have for this week. Tuning next week every Wednesday. We're doing we're doing episodes, we're doing stuff, we're putting it out in the formats that you like to enjoy. We have a new YouTube channel. Look up PoDumb on Spotify, Amazon Music, or on YouTube, and you will find our channels. We have solidified our spot on the internet, and I hope you will join us week in, week out for more improv, more comedy, and more whatever you want to, whatever the reason you tune in every week. Hope we have more of that in store for you guys. But with that being said, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week for even more PoDumb action. My name is Gabe, alongside Luke and Scott. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you have a great afternoon, a great evening, or in fact, a great night, whatever time of day it might be. Hope you have a good one of those. But yeah.